My dear friends, today I will be discussing about the diagnosis of restrictive cardiomyopathy. So restrictive cardiomyopathy is a type of cardiomyopathy where the heart undergoes stiffening or it becomes tight so that they cannot go for relaxation during the diastolic expansion that ultimately causes diastolic dysfunction of the heart. Restrictive cardiomyopathy may also complicate to diastolic heart failure in later stage of the disease if it is not prevented or treated with proper therapeutic intervention. Now, restrictive cardiomyopathy may also confused with some other disease like constrictive pericarditis or cardiac tamponade. So that's why diagnosis is very much important so as to rule out other disease which has similar diastolic dysfunction like constrictive pericarditis, cardiac tamponade and so on. So echocardiography actually is the diagnostic tool of choice in case of restrictive cardiomyopathy. Echocardiography will show normal systolic function and abnormal diastolic function. So that is restrictive cardiomyopathy. Besides, 2D Doppler study is very much important as it can differentiate between the constrictive pericarditis and restrictive cardiomyopathy. So 2D, two-dimensional Doppler studies or Doppler echocardiography can differentiate between the constrictive pericarditis as well as restrictive cardiomyopathy. Besides, cardiac MRI is there which can also diagnose more specifically the restrictive cardiomyopathy. And beside for giving specific diagnosis or etiological diagnosis, we can go for transmyocardial or transvenous endomyocardial biopsy so as to identify whether there is amyloidosis or abnormal protein deposition or any infiltrative disease is there or not. So to diagnose the infiltrative disease or the causative disease or causative factors behind the restrictive cardiomyopathy, we can go for transvenous endomyocardial biopsy so as to find out the various causes of amyloidosis and accordingly we can treat it. Besides, ECG can be done which shows low voltage QRS wave. So low voltage QRS wave may ultimately because of amyloidosis induced restrictive cardiomyopathy. So those patients who are suffering RCM or restrictive cardiomyopathy because of amyloidosis, they can show low voltage QRS wave in ECG. So these are the various diagnostic tools or diagnostic methods by which we can go for diagnosis of restrictive cardiomyopathy. Besides, sign symptoms is another important clinical features or some diagnostic tool like shortness of breath, exercise intolerance, then shortness of breath on exercise, fatigue, weakness, pedal swelling, then fainting, syncopal attacks, giddiness, nausea, and some sign symptoms of heart failure may also be seen in case of restrictive cardiomyopathy. So sign symptoms and clinical feature also helps in diagnosis of restrictive cardiomyopathy. So these are the various treatment modality, and out of this echocardiography is very much important because it can focus on the normal systolic function and abnormal diastolic function, and restrictive cardiomyopathy is associated with abnormal diastolic function because it is a diastolic dysfunction disease and amyloidosis is the most common cause. For the diagnosis of the amyloidosis, many tests like endomyocardial biopsy can be done, and for diagnosis of other diseases, we can take history or we can go for blood test or we can go for other test so as to find out the cause of the disease. So these are the various ways of diagnosis of cardiomyopathy, especially of restrictive type. Thank you very much.